Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, NFT is probably a word that not a lot of people have heard. But so today, as already mentioned, it's about the bravery. And I'm going to jump into NFTs and then Bitcoins and all of the weird stuff that you've been hearing around the world. But before that, I need to highlight one cool thing that probably a lot of people know, which is our social media. And no, before we go in deeper, we're not going to be looking for 15 minutes our TikToks. That's not going to happen. But that is a very big thing to be brave in, because essentially this has helped us to create new ways how we can spread the awareness of our brand, and it has made new opportunities in different kind of fields. And here, I also need to mention that TikTok is for free. So essentially, you're not paying for the things that you do. Of course, you will spend your time and effort, but essentially that is a way how you can later monetize and bring more people to your brands. And of course, we're fighting with Ryanair because they're also having a really cool accounts of media that they're posting. But about being brave, there's one thing to be brave, it's cool, but there's usually a lot of problems with that. Because if you're lower in the company, then you're going to be probably burning out if the company don't want to be brave, right? So you can have cool ideas, you could be running around, hey, let's do this and that. But essentially, if the company is not ready for that, you're just probably going to be leaving the company, right? And this is where we come to leading by example. We're quite lucky to have Martin Gauss as our CEO, who has been driving a lot of these incentives, which is the social media also to post cool stuff, even with him in one of the TikToks, right? And also, Martin is one of the ones who's behind all of this Web3 loyalty program. By being, as already mentioned, we were the first ones to accept cryptocurrency, so essentially pay with Bitcoins and etc., and then the NFTs. But the NFTs is not about only art, right? So probably some people have heard about monkeys. So let's raise the hands. How many people know Bored Ape Yacht Club? Yeah, the cool monkeys that used to cost 1 million, now they're a little bit lower. But essentially, it can bring a lot of cool utilities and spread brand awareness. And this is what I'm going to be talking about today. And also, I'll show you 2 graphs to actually prove that, hey, there could be new ways how you can engage with your customers and attract new customers through that. So Plainies, 10,000 of them, different design little airplanes. Actually, we launched them last year, and we're still in a progress. So as probably all of you already know, if you want to be brave or you want to create something new or cool, it's going to take time. Usually, it's not one night's pop up and you're just famous with what you're doing. It takes a lot of time to be there. And that's what we're doing with the Plainies, where we launched it as a loyalty program. And what we can see now from the loyalty program as it is that there is demand. So essentially, that is a very technology type of thing to do because you need to know some of the things. But what it changes and offers, people are still ready to accept the new future of the loyalty. Some of the things we're going to dive into the next slide. But what I need to mention here is that also we've been having a higher demand every single time, but it also takes time and still the effort. So whatever we do, either that's in social media or that's in TikToks or NFTs or whatever else, it still needs to continue. So being brave with one idea, yes, it works, but if you don't continue that, then essentially it's going to just die. And it also brings a new concept to the world, which is your loyalty as an asset. And what that means is probably a lot of companies have loyalty cards and they do provide cool benefits with that. But essentially with the Web3 technology, what it offers is for people to take ownership of their loyalty, not the company. And what that means is you have an opportunity to actually transfer this loyalty to someone else or sell this loyalty to someone else. Where essentially if you don't want to be in a loyalty program, but you have spent way more time and money, then essentially you have a way to go out. And this is a new concept which also works with your revenue stream because you can have a piece of transaction costs. It's very, very technical. You can see a little slide here. It's in Ethereum. It's very different kind of world for now for a lot of people. But essentially, we can see that there is demand in our loyalty program already currently. So there's people trading our loyalty with them each other, right? And this is how we can also attract new people to the brand, because we're innovating and we're giving them new options what they could actually do. So the biggest benefits, 3 of them, of course there's a lot of them. I personally think there's a lot of them because I'm just living in Web3 world, but essentially for the company there's 3 things what we have already gathered. So with this new loyalty program that is transferable and it offers different kind of benefits, it has increased the revenue coming from these customers by 3 times. Another thing which is quite big is new customers, because all of the companies, right, wants to have new customers. And this is where the brand comes in. If the brand can innovate, and if the brand can, let's say, get the information out for the new generations, which is the NFTs, so Gen Zs, Gen Ys, and right, you can get these customers first rather than a company who's just doing what they're doing. And then the third thing, of course, we're raising the brand awareness because we've been leading with this technology in the world. But it's not also positive, right? So everything, for anything that we do, there's pluses and minuses and some challenges. So 3 of them that I wanted to just put it out there so you understand, hey, yeah, this is not so easy and everything is beautiful and everyone's ready to shift to this world of new loyalty program, is onboarding. So essentially, if you heard about Bored Apes or you're having some kind of idea of cryptocurrency, you need to have a wallet, which is hard. And for a new customer, for a brand, you could look bad. So essentially, if you bring out a product which is not easy to use for your already existing customers, you could probably get some percentage of these people leave the company because it was very hard to use and they don't like the product anymore. Of course, this program is not mandatory, but essentially, if you do see that you would like to have this product, it needs to be seamless experience so you could actually use it. Then the second thing, all of the Web3 world now is struggling with the skill set. So there's not a lot of people who knows about Web3 and how to actually integrate them with the company. So again, that goes back to the onboarding stage. And then the third thing, the regulations. So because you have that opportunity, the new loyalty that you can transfer or sell, that means there's regulations from financial perspective. Because essentially, now I hold Planies, I can sell them to some person for whatever money I want, if the person is willing to buy. So that is where the regulations comes in. But luckily enough, there's a lot of cool things happening here in Estonia for years already. There's a lot of cool things happening in Latvia. A lot of companies, Estonian government is involved with Web3. So we are moving and there's going to be cooler and cooler features. So one more thing that I need to mention on the brand is how we can be closer to our customers as a brand, right? Yes, we reply in our Twitter accounts, messages, Instagrams, and etc. It's really cool. But what if a customer could have an opportunity on daily basis, 24/7, to talk with you, even not about your company? Wouldn't the customer then feel a lot more satisfied that he can link together with the like-minded people, which is community, and then share their experiences or their suggestions, or maybe they can also share their negative feedback. And we're there to create this community so then essentially the satisfaction is going for the brand. It spreads the brand, hey, this is one of the brands where you can actually get your negative feedback out and publicly, everyone sees the chat and we respond. And this creates different kind of relationships between the customer and the brand. Of course, these gonna be expenses because someone needs to run this and know what they're talking about. But it gives that feeling that you're valued a lot more as a customer to that brand. And if you are, then essentially that person is gonna go to his friends or family or someone else and he's gonna spread the good word because, hey, this company treated me differently. So your brand works for yourself if you do tiny things like these. And about the global recognition. So essentially, because of NFTs, we've been around their little circle. So we've been on the scale of the world's biggest companies due to this innovation, spreading the brand around the globe, even though we are mainly located in Baltics. And was, of course, also a way. I don't believe personally that after 3 years, if someone thinks of this and hey, let's do it, you could reach the same thing, because we do evolve and a lot more companies are using these kind of technology. But essentially, it was a really great way how we can work on our brand in USA, attending NFT in New York or around the Europe. And that's what shows that, hey, this company, yes, they may be small to the world size, but essentially it shows, hey, this company is ready to move with the times that we live in. And that is mandatory for companies to survive in future, because we have all of these new technologies, right? We have AI, where you're going to be using the chat box, which is going to save a lot of expenses from the company. We have the Web3, so we need to move on, and that is what attracts us, and of course, shares the knowledge about what we have been doing. And so what is the next step? So essentially, Web3 also gives you a lot of cool things that you couldn't do from technology before. And there's a lot of them. I'm not going to dive into them. But essentially, another thing for the brand, for that customer, loyal member to be very, let's say, feel very appreciated, is one of my favorite things on what is coming on the plane. So you see that little hangar there, Air Baltic Backstage Experience? Imagine that. You're a loyal member of a company. You like that company. But there has never been a chance to go to them and see how they actually work. So what we're bringing in our future is to have an opportunity for our loyal members who are in this NFT club to have that experience. You like flying, you come to our hangars, see how the plane looks, you go through a flight simulator, and this is what creates relationships. This is what, of course, works on a brand awareness, and it makes, of course, the satisfaction rates go up and the revenue come in. Of course, there's a lot of things, but it offers you a lot more possibilities. And of course, again, it showcases that hey, this company is willing to go that extra mile, try something new. Yes, some of the things that we have done didn't work, but hey, we did it. And we're moving on, we learned, and we're just tackling the next things that we want to do. And this is another thing that you need to keep in mind if you're trying to be there and create new innovations, what is not out there. And that's about it. Let's finish off with the 3 lovely airplanes, and thank you very much.